Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. There we go. Getting everything set up. So we're going to work on the mod a little more today. Hopefully make some decent progress. We are going to start off with what I normally do. We are going to look at the mod database site. We're going to see what people have found, if people found anything extra. Nope, no one's got anything. It looks like so people have found a couple more things. Hey, Severed Skulls, how's it going? Are you on for tonight? Doing a? I'm thinking what we could do is we can like call each other on Discord, and I can show you like how I'm doing my stuff. Right, I could share my screen, you share yours, and we could see why things are being weird. I think the unblock. Yeah, I don't know. We can definitely talk about it. But if you're still on for it, I'm definitely have the time set aside so we can do that. Hate when code doesn't work right. Needs to work the first time. Looks like this person here found a crash. This right here, I did fix already. I found out that I don't know what was going on. I think it's like when you start putting in these systems, you start piecemealing things. And I had two print statements that sent messages to the player one way, and then I was sending packets for the other two, and it was the packet that was failing. So I think even though it was thread safe, if it tries to send that package too quickly before the player is ready, technically that player comes out as null because the client doesn't see when the server is ready. So I did fix that. This right here, I'm going to have to talk to this person directly. I don't click on other people's Google Drives and zip files and stuff from people I don't know. But from reading the information, there definitely is. There may be something with how I'm calculating my time. But since I haven't seen the error yet, it's something that I'm going to dig in a little deeper. And I think I fixed this as well. I had suspected this would work this way, but I don't have multiple accounts, so I can't test to see how other people react. I got myself and I got the server, but they were saying when you meditate, other people around you will regain mana, and I think it's because I'm not. I had it to where it would update the tag for you if you were meditating. But it wasn't, the actual meditation logic per tick wasn't restricted to just your character. So I put something in for that. Hopefully that fixes it. So we should have everything fixed here. And of course, I'm doing the shout out, right? I do appreciate everyone coming to me with this stuff. I've had some people come and say like, I don't want to disturb you or interrupt you. And I'm like, you know what? Like, it's fine. Just, you can let me know. I'm a human being, Yes, absolutely. I figured out the shift plus right click stuff. Now I'm trying to figure out how to filter out the inventory slots. I've implemented my own inventory base and inventory slot, but none of the methods getting called. Okay, yeah, I mean, I could show you what I'm doing too with that stuff. Now, do you use control, or are you specifically calling sneak? Ugh, man. I have these Dr. Peppers. There's zero Dr. Peppers, right? But I like zero sugar soda. I've gained a taste for them, but this one's supposed to be berries and cream. A Dr. Pepper trying to do berries and cream makes for a very weird combination. Oh, man, it's really weird. Ugh. Yeah, I would suggest using sneak. I used to do control too, but you know, then people have, you know, showed concerns with like the airships and stuff, right? They're like, well, I can't keybind this, and I don't want to create a new keybind, new registry item just to keybind this one thing and make it an extra thing, but I can piggyback off of sneak, right? Because that would make sense. No matter what your button is for sneak, I'm making sure that I target it. So, and that's what I do. I'll show you in the Sanctum. I'm doing that. So here, no, actually, here is my Sanctum, right? And to access the inventory, which is right here, yeah, I just hop into the controls and get sneak. That way, it kind of follows that keybind for sneak. And I'll show off some of the work that I've done so far. And then we'll get into it. I want to make the Obelisk, because I really feel like all of these changes, it's taking a magic mod to like the next level. Whoops. So this is my prototype for an Obelisk. It's kind of weird. You can't... I don't like this, but I don't think there's going to be a good way, right, to kind of get the angles for an Obelisk. So I'm going to have to do what I can. I may be able to like cover up some of these overlaps by just putting like a shingle kind of block there, you know, just to like smooth out the angles. But this is what I'm looking at so far. I do this for this block. I'm envisioning it being a block that you make early on with the new magic stone, which I love, by the way. Like I really like how this magic stone, the tint and everything came out. It feels very magic moddy. But, you know, I have the Obelisk here, and what this is going to do is when you place it, it's going to passively, over time, accumulate mana, right? Like, it's almost like electricity, right? But I'm just going to call it mana. And then what I can do with this kind of system is I can make a tool where, you know, you've seen it in other things where you can, you know, click on this, right? And then use the tool, right, to have your start point. And then you'll be able to put it on the transmutation altar. So I'm trying to pull back. Like, transmutation, I think, is a great spell that I want you to use as like your primary tool. But you shouldn't have to sit there and dump all of your mana casting transmutation on an altar to accumulate these points to like create things. It's an unnecessary time sink. It's not that fun to grind right off the bat. But by having, you know, one of these, right, kind of linked up to your transmutation altar, right, you can make whatever you want. Like, it becomes like a furnace at that point as long as it's linked. And you'll be able to use the mana here, and then maybe just use your transmutation spell as a catalyst to start the process, instead of being like, well, I gotta cast it like 20 times and go. And what I can also do with this is I can make it to where you... Maybe I can make different types of mana, right? Because I can make a neutral mana, which is what this is going to be. That's why you see there's a little cubby hole there. Or you can socket a gemstone into it, a certain gemstone that I make, like a day stone or something. And then it will only accumulate mana during the daytime hours, but then it will only accumulate like light mana. And then maybe I can have a dark stone in there, or a bloodstone or something, right? And then that can generate dark magic, because I think it would be cool to open up systems like that to incorporate maybe some like blood magic-y kind of magic. You know, maybe with the light, maybe the light is more stable and you want to use that for like a rift kind of, you know, portal system, or, you know, and then that solves the issue with a lot of my blocks. Like, I wanted to make the block where you kind of place it down and it's like the elevator. You know, like just to where when you're on that block and it's powered up, you could like fly up to so high you know, to like get to a certain place. You know, like the you know, my whole mechanical power tie-in, you know, an Obelisk system of like that passive, like I'm generating stuff could be really helpful. You know, that solves a lot of my issues. But I did more work here. So in the Sanctum, right, I have it to where you have to crouch. Like for me, it's control, but it's whatever the keybind is for sneak. And when I right-click, I can pull up the, you know, whatever, this is what the interface is going to be that I would be able to see. It's going to have who it's attached to, like everyone's going to see who it's attached to. If I allow them, I may make it to where it just sends a message saying, you know, you're not soulbound to this, and, you know, fail to open, you're not soulbound to this item or something. But the player, right, you'd be able to see what your active grimoires are. So for your active spells and your spell slots, and then what the durability is on those spells, right? Because maybe either through wear and tear, definitely upon dying, whatever you have socketed, you know, your tomes are going to take durability loss because they're linked to your soul. They are soul bound. But I think it'd be cool to have something on display so other people could see what your spells are and what you have socketed. Now, I may make it to where, like, when you hover over, you can see, like, Sanctum, and it says, like, Velocity, Excavation, Rapid Shot, like, the name of the spells. Or Blasting Bomb, Work in Progress. It would be cool to be able to see the mana stats for them. So I may incorporate that as well in the tooltips. But I think it'd be cool to be like, hey, this is your workshop. You know, you and I are sharing a place together. We could put our Sanctums, like, side by side, right? And I can pass you a spell. You know, you could pick it up. We can modify that spell, you know, whatever we want to do. So it's not as static, right? You don't get it once and then it just goes forever. I think what I'm also going to do is how I have tiers 1 through 4. I'm not sure if what the tier system's going to look like going forward. If I should have blocks like that, or if I should make it to where it's just like a percentage-based thing. And the more magic that you use, you know, like you could raise your maximum magic. Like the tier system may be for just what your maximum mana and armor equipable is. And then make it to where, you know, like the rare spells, you know, like fly and everything, have a rare drop rate. You know what I mean? And then to be able to enhance that kind of stuff too, to prolong it. With the thing where, like, if you try to enhance it and you fail at the minigame horribly, or you're not prepared, because, you know, it's going to get harder and harder to do that stuff. Like, you'll have to know, you know, so you're not unstable in the area. I think it can make for a very fun system. I think a magic system that would go well with a game like this, you know, where your goal is to survive and, like, build and pretty much turn everything you see into an item that you could put in a box. So this is what I mean by Magic 2.0. Boop. Yeah, I think if I put like a shingle block here, you know, to cover that, I think that would look so much better. And then maybe I could get like another topper block here. You know, just to kind of smooth it out a little bit, because I like the angles so far. You know, like how it feels, but you know, it could be better. It could be better. But for my Obelisk, I think that's pretty good, and it doesn't fit in a 2x. Oh, I guess it does. I gotta set the collision for it, but you know, it's not gonna fit in a 2x2. It's gonna be a little awkward shaped. Oh, you know what? What I could do is I could make it a little more pointed. I can make it a little taller. And then I can bring the things in. Like, I can maybe make it like a block and a half high. I don't know if it's possible to access the current chunk stability, but could have that be a failure component. Failure could reduce the stability of the current chunk. Yeah, and that's what I was thinking. So a failure could be in the form of like a mana burn, you know, for the players, like anyone that's around them, to where like even if you're like in another room, if you're so many blocks away, you could get a debuff that will either reduce the maximum mana that you have, maybe lock you out of some schools of spells, because I did break everything down into schools. It could be the fact that you just waste your mana. It could be HP damage. I could open a rift if the area is considered like temporarily unstable. Like mini rifts could open up. I could directly spawn enemies like within your vicinity too, coming out of like whatever the rift portal is. You know, there's a lot of things that I can do, and I want the transmutation spell. And again, right, I have these crystals that I made that I wanted to do something with. So, you know, maybe because I have my elements, there could be like some kind of elemental imbalance, right? And you have to cast transmutation on, you know, like the gravity, right? Gravity magic's going out of control, the gravity element. So, you know, you would have to have crystals around and then be able to, you know, cast transmutation on it to lessen that effect, right? So it's going to be more of like you have this active space and you have like your transmutation circle on the ground and you're trying to enhance this book, and you have to do a lot of little things, you know, to make sure that things are going correctly, you know? Or low stability improves success rate, but you're taking stability damage. Yeah, it very much could be. You know, like I still have to work out the system, but I have a rough outline as to what I want it to be like, and where, you know, where am I going to find the fun in a mod like this? Like, I don't want this to be like a piecemeal mod, you know, like the first revision with like, you know, how magic works. It makes sense in like an MMO setting, which it was my inspiration, right? Like EverQuest 1 was my inspiration for this particular magic. But, you know, like, I think this new kind of system would be more fun and interactive, like, because I want to make something side by side from the main game. You know, if you don't want to touch magic, that's fine. You could be in a server playing with other people. You could roleplay as your blacksmith like you always did. You know, get into any of those mods or anything, right? You know, make armor, whatever comes out. But if you want mana, I want there to be that benefit. I want it to be fun. You know, I want it to be kind of inclusive to people. You know, like, I think it would be really cool, like, hey, my run speed spell, you know? Or I was able to get a second one. This one has a better mana efficiency, and, you know, like, I can increase this to, you know, a tier 4, you know, instead of just being tier 4 because I'm tier 4. So, that's the idea. And I would also like to have more than just the staves. I want the staves, I want wands to be a usable spellcasting item. I want spellbooks to be a usable item as well. You know, I want to make it to where when you attune to an element, the particles that surround you, I want them to be themed with your element. You know, there's a lot that I want to do, and I think rewriting this foundation is going to make all of those systems easier to do and make them more fun. So let's work on the obelisk. I know I just said a mouthful, bleh. But obelisk time. I'm thinking... See, I got selection boxes and I got the collision boxes, so it's not pulling what I expected with the collision box, but it's doing it with the selection. Isn't there something else like it's selection and collision? So I'm going to show everyone something too, right? Like, when the whole point of me live streaming this stuff is to kind of show how I do things. So I'm going to go to the Vintage Story Wiki. Not the mod database. There we go. Right, so I'm on the wiki, and what I'm looking for is what kind of things, you know, that a block can accept in their JSON file. Right, so if I go into modding here, if I go into... See, it wouldn't be a basic block. So, okay, this isn't going to be it, right? But I'm going to come down. This is what I'm more familiar with, right? So if I look at something like properties overview, here we go, blocks. So this is going to give me all of this stuff that I'm going to want. Collision selection boxes is what I used in mine. That sets both. You know, it could be the fact that I have these selection box here. I don't have them separate because I know you can do them separate as well. Right, and there are going to be times when you may want to do a separate, like with, you know, with a block like this, where I can't have just like a solid block, you know, box for the selection, because you got to be able to take books out. But then again, I want it to stand and be solid. So, you know, we're just gonna kind of take a look at things. See, yeah, there's collision box, there's collision boxes. Yeah, and see, I'm doing box, so the boxes would be an array object. Yep. Collision selection boxes. A crate, for example, requires multiple collision boxes. So yeah, that would be the array for that. And then we got the selection box, selection boxes. So I am going to utilize... Oop, we'll move this over. Oh yeah, see, instead of collision... well, collision selection boxes should be the same. I'm going to keep them separate for now. Just because I don't know how the obelisk is going to go. I don't know how tall it's going to be. So I may have to do something dynamic with the selection box, especially if I make a gemstone that you can socket in. I want it to be like a hitbox that you actually see on that part there. You know, that way you could just like right click, not pull up a GUI necessarily, but you'd be able to just socket the gemstone in or take it out. I really wish that I used to be able to save Fireball, and then when I reload the world, it would reload the JSON files. I can't do that. I've tried to do like like shape reload, language reload. I tried to do all those commands. They don't seem to be working for me. So literally, to see if something like that worked, I have to like shut down and then go back in. It stinks. It's terrible. But, you know, before we go back in, let's modify this. Let's go to File, New, File, Open. We're going to go to the Obelisk. Yeah, because I'm thinking I could use this top as an anchor. We're going to create a new block. Let's make this a little bigger. Ah, there we go. Boop. And I don't like, I don't like that. I don't like that. We are gonna pop this out a little bit. I'm gonna shift this over. I'm gonna shift it down. I'm gonna move it up one. There we go. That is gonna be better. There we go. Should be this angle here. So I'm just gonna attach this here. I can extend it out, right? Something like that would cover the grossness. The yuck factor. Right, and then we can kind of extend it to maybe 3 would probably work better. I gotta extend the angle a little bit more. Probably like that. I could just, could just do... It's going haywire. Hold on. Let's just start over. Position back up. Okay, that's looking good. I want to hop this over. It's so much better to just undo what you did. There we go. That should be better. Now I can put this back in. Let's do negative 130. Something like that. We got like the tiniest little nudge right there. What would this look like if it came down to like meat? Because I could have fun with this, right? I could put like a cap or something, or I could attach another block that would connect to here. So I could I'll duplicate this, add it. Or do something like this. We can mess with this angle now. Right, something like that. I can pull this back a little bit. Right, so it looks like the geometry kind of makes sense and connects with each other. Know what I mean? Call me old-fashioned. But I like things to line up when I can. So if I make this 8 by 8, move this over, duplicate this, spin this around. You won't see that Z fighting when I'm done. All right, now I can move this back to here. We're going to duplicate this. This is a quick and dirty way of doing this. I mean, so I would end up with something like this. I mean, it does look neat. I mean, it does give it a little more character. I would have to do something like maybe I just put a cap on top. So I could do something like this. You know, just extend it 1, 2, 3. Right. 5. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. All right, if I bring this down a little, so it's like in there. What is that? There's like that, there's that little tiny bit. But I could just bring this down 1, because a lot of this is going to be down 2. There we go. Because a lot of that's going to be hidden. I could do that with all of them, actually. So bring them down 2. Right, so it's not so glitchy with the geometry. The geometry! I mean, let's give it a try. Right? This could be good. We'll do file, save. Some Sonic music. Sonic the Hedgehog! You know what I want to do this Halloween for like a stream? I want a Dr. Robotnik costume. I want the big bushy beard. The goddamn hedgehog! I think it'd be fun to dress up like that. Alright, let me replace some of the nulls here. I've been thinking about that because I'm like, you know, I got like a Santa beard and stuff. In our family, I may have donned the role of Santa Claus. So you know, maybe I do a stream as one. Maybe if you double your weight. I put a pillow in the stomach. We haven't done an in-person one. What we were doing is I created a Zoom profile called Santa Claus. You know, I filled out the profile like, you know, I work in the North Pole and I manufacture toys. So for the kids of our family, Santa will do a Zoom call with them. And what we do is we say, you know, by talking with Santa, you know, on through Zoom, you know, the parents will have like, you know, the little toys for them and they'll set them outside the door. And the thing is, like, after you talk with Santa, Santa's going to leave you a gift, you know? So that way, you know, he can't see you in person, but he's still there thinking of you, kind of thing. So, but, you know, I got the full suit. I got the bells. I got everything. So maybe a live stream like that. Just got to make sure Baby Triangle doesn't see me. I'll have to lock myself in the game room. And I was thinking, like, you know, one of these days he's gonna be like, why can't Dad be here when Santa's here? He always has to go out to the garage. Kid's smart. He's gonna figure that out sooner than later. Yeah, Santa did enter the 21st century. Yep, I got like a background and everything of like a workshop, green screen, that stuff. It's pretty professional, if I do say so myself. Ho, ho, ho. You gotta have fun, right? You know, if you could bring happiness to other people, then, you know, what you're doing is worth it. Look at that. Okay, so I do have some of the glitch. I can get rid of that side glitching really easily. I'm liking this shape. It's feeling a little taller. I have a flat platform here because I did want it to go up higher. I could maybe do something pointed. I could maybe make a little bump up, and maybe that's where like a portal or some kind of indicator goes. Okay, so I still have to work on the collision, but I think that's perfectly fine. Honestly, I don't care about this. I'm not gonna break my back doing that. There's so many more things to do. That was a good hole. You should hear. I didn't even give you my A game. I looked up. There are videos and stuff on how to be a professional Santa, and they go over like how you have to be jolly, the things you say, like, you know, if you get sucked into, you know, because there are kids that are gonna ask like, well, I don't have a chimney, how does Santa, you know. So it's like all that stuff on the fly you gotta do, right? It'd be horrible to ruin the spirit of Christmas for a child. Well, Santa doesn't know. Leave your door unlocked. Ho, 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 ho. Yeah, we're not doing that. Santa is no laughing matter. That's true. Like, it is a pretty big responsibility. You can't, you know. I got my suit hidden. It's on lock and key. No one is going to be finding this suit if they go through our house. I made sure of that. I'm liking this direction. I feel like this is good. I feel like I could have like a darker color or, you know, something else here that kind of connects down. Yeah. Def, think you should extend those caps on the top of the obelisk up a 2-block high height. Yeah, I mean, I do have the space here. I do like how sharp it is here. Yeah, so you're talking about the cap here, like doing some kind of like maybe doing an extra. You know what I could do? I could do like an extra point towards the top, and then I can have pivot points here that kind of go up and then meet at the top. And if I do that, that would give, or, you know, not even something there, just maybe pivot points here, and then going up and meeting at the top. That way it leaves like an open gap, because I would like a visual of like maybe, you know, the fact that you know it's on, because maybe there's like a little, like, just not rift portal, but, you know, a different colored kind of portal that doesn't affect you, kind of starts to wrap around, you know. I think you should keep those 45 angle blocks where they are. The cap in those north, south, east, west blocks. Or you talk about this like top part right here. Talking about like this, right? This, the cap, and then this, right? Are you saying like shift these up more? Because like what I was gonna say is like I can do a pivot, right, and have something come up here, and then maybe have it, you know, like kind of branch up top. Yep. Yeah, you know, maybe what I should have done is I should have started the base out a little further. You know, that way it fills up more of the block, and then that would have allowed me to go higher while keeping that whole illusion of like it's angled going up, and then it can go into the cap. You know, this kind of cap. Extend the block so that it's too high. Yeah, so let's yeah, because I have control of this whole thing here. I'm gonna stack it all together so it's easier to move. So you're talking about like 1, 2, right? Something like that. Oh, we're kind of getting some neat stuff going on in there, huh? Now what if I extend this down a little, right, so it still connects? You know, this may actually come out a little better. Oh, what I could do is I could potentially make this thinner. I hate doing this kind. There we go. I hate doing that kind of stuff when you have angles. It becomes really weird. Nah, I would have to do something else there. Just feeling it out. Just feeling it out. So this cap would have to go a little further down. 1, 2, 1, 2. Right? I think Washington Monument. I'd have to. Yeah. Look up the picture of it. Yeah. See, and that's the problem. Like, I want that nice, like, angle, but you know, maybe I should make the decision right now to kind of expand out the base. So what I'm going to do to preserve what I did is I'm going to create a new block. I'm going to call it _origin. _origin 1. It's going to be just a null block, and it's going to take everything that I have here. And then I'm going to create a second origin, and then we'll do a side-by-side, so I can get rid of this original, right? And I can kind of give it a little more space at the bottom. And then just kind of build up the angle so it's taller. That way all the stuff makes sense, instead of, because I'm still trying to manipulate something that was based on, you know, its foundation down here. Right, so let's start off with this. I'm going to duplicate this. That is going to be _origin 2. So let's hide that, right? So I didn't even get it all. Come on, Vice. So let's duplicate this. Put this in there. All right, so that should be good. All right, start off with these angles again. So if I push these out, which should be... Technically, I should just delete this. I should delete... Yeah, I believe it's that. Let me put this as the origin of 880. Right, now what I can do is come into here. Right? Kind of fill up the space. That way I can do more than just a 5 degree, right? I could do like maybe a 10. Because even with that, right? Because, oh, I do have to... No, I think this is still doable. This is still good. I'm still good. I'm still good. To duplicate this, I'm going to add this to here. Right, so this I'm going to have to move up 16. Now I can bring this back down. So by 8, that should be pretty good. This would have to go back down to that as my start, right? And then I got this. So that helps with the angle there. All right. So now I could take this origin. I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to move it 90. Right, so this is kind of what we're looking at. Now, it looks like some of the angles are not exactly right, so I got to fix that first. Oh, that's why. That should be 10. There we go. Make sure I didn't mess anything else up. 30, 30. It looks like we have the offset of 8. Good, good. Now let's duplicate that. Bump it over 90. Not quite, huh? Although, you know what? This is going to be something that's covered anyways. That may be good enough. Let's see what it looks like if I bump it out a little more. All right, do that. Duplicate. Make that 180. Right, so I'm getting this kind of... I actually kind of like that. Like, look at this swirl pattern on top. I do like that. It's gonna make it feel, you know, just by having that little bit of offset, it's gonna maybe give it a little more character. Is that too much of an angle? It's kind of looking more like a teepee, isn't it? So if I bring this back in... You know, it's sad. That actually does look pretty cool. I didn't even plan that, right? Like, what if I bump this up a little more? So that it's like that, right? And then... kind of... This could be kind of cool. I would have to change this angle. Put that down by like 11. Right, something like this would have enough to where... Oh, I need to offset this a little bit because it's kind of glitching right there. But for now, so 50. Oops. So we'll look at it from like an angle like this. So that would be the new Obelisk. I don't know. I don't know what to think of it. See, part of me is like, whatever I pick, it's still going to be the version 1. And, you know, there are those out there who are better at modeling than I am. By far. Like, my modeling's kind of subpar. Even giving myself credit, I think my modeling is subpar. You know what I could try to do? Because this is kind of weird. Having the slot so far at the bottom. When I think Obelisk, I think a giant towering crystal-like structure. Yeah, but I don't want this to be a huge multi-block thing. Like 2 blocks high is like the maximum. You know what I mean? But I do like the... I like the top. And I think this could be good. I think this could be good. Hey, Zamana! Oh, so something happened today. I got my Razer keyboard, right? And I have drinks all around me. I finally spilled a drink on my keyboard, and I'm like, ah, shit! You know, like, damn it! And this was surprisingly easy to take out, and it's got this, like, anti-spill kind of pad in there. It got, like, on none of the components. I was able to take it apart. I cleaned my keyboard, got all the hair and gunk out. Like, you look, and I disinfect my area, you know. I get disinfectant wipes, you know, like once every couple weeks I'll come in and just wipe everything down, my keyboard, my mouse, earbuds, right? I have like a felt kind of suede is what it is. Suede ear pads on my headset. Like, I'll pop those off and give them like a nice manual wash and let them dry. Yeah, I make sure to like clean my area, but my keyboard underneath was disgusting. But now I mention that because every once in a while I'm getting a whiff of like the soap that I used, and I'm like, ah, that keyboard smells nice. Obelisks have to be obsidian. It's the rule. Oh yeah, is it hexagon? Obsidian! If it's not obsidian, you're doing it wrong. But if it's super tall, you can make lightning strike it for the cool factor. I don't think people are going to want... Because I envision these being inside someone's house. I don't think people are going to want lightning to strike their shiz, you know? and besides, it would be annoying to have a multi-block thing like that. It would be annoying to make, most likely. Like, 2 blocks high is like the maximum I'm going to do. I got to put my foot down. That's the executive decision. 2 blocks. See, I could do it like right at the top here. I can move this down a little bit. Wait, where's the position? I can't see. Okay, it's red. Whoops, no. All right, so I could do that, which means this block... right, so this base anchor would have to go back a little. Whoops. What the hell is this anchor block even doing? What if I just delete it? Right? And I could do 1, 2. Whoops. Wrong direction. This is red. 1, 2. Yeah, that way it gets a little lip there. 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Let's rename that. The inside, 1, 2. It's got that little bit of lip. It's covering that weird blemish, that intersection right there. It's kind of like part of it. I'm liking this. I am liking this. Maybe make it totem-like, where you can add parts as you unlock them for higher tier power. That's a good idea. That's definitely a good idea. I like that. So if that's 50, all right, let me make something that's kind of universal here. Okay. It's looking okay so far. I gotta bump this up. Actually, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to delete that whole section. Where is this base anchor? Oh, I gotta deal with this. Right? So that's going to be the new foundation. And then for this part, I'm going to duplicate it. We're going to zero it out. I'm going to make that 90. It's a little off. Okay, okay. Oh, yeah, it is a little off, isn't it? There we go. Oh, it's a little off that way, too. There we go. Something like that. That means I have to redo this angle, so this would be 50. Yeah, that looks good. This would have to be 50 yep, that is 50. All right, let's see what the new Obelisk looks like. Because it should be kind of, it should be a bigger block. I'm going to have some nulls in here, so let's find them. You know what? Let's just replace all null. There we go. Now, I wish I could do, like, .reload shapes or .reload textures, but neither of those work, so I got to shut down, got to rebuild, and start again. I want it to be 20 blocks tall. It needs to scrape the clouds as they go by. I want tornadoes to be afraid of these obelisks. Oh no, Seraph's made them. Let's go around. It would be kind of cool to have a mechanic for like lightning strikes. Okay, that's sitting a little. Okay, I'm liking the. Wait a minute. It is taller. Okay, this is the new one. Yeah, this is the new one. Yeah, I thought it looked different. I like how it's taller. It's gonna look better if I can get different textures in here. It's gonna require me making other mana blocks. Like if I do go with a light and a dark energy or mana source, I could make infused stone that is light infused stone and dark infused stone. And then I would have those to play with for textures here. So we got that there. I think the cap looks pretty good. Let's see if I jump on this. Okay, so the collision. Okay, so my physical collision isn't exactly high. You know what? I guess I just don't care at that point. You know, this is a trade-off of time. Do I really care what the collision is? And I can always hard-code a collision in as well, like I did over here. I don't have to necessarily do it through JSON if the JSON's not working. Although, here, let's try .bs edit. Let's maybe make it a block and a half. All right, so let's go to Obelisk. This would be 0.5. This would be 0.5. I'm going to shut down, build. Who knows? Maybe it was right on the cusp where it was allowing a block in the space. I don't know. If you make the blocks above it not matter, people will chisel decorations for the obelisk. Yeah, that is something, yeah. Could do that. People could also, like, maybe chisel their own obelisk. I kind of want to use... How easy is it to get obsidian? I feel like some worlds I hop in, and I'm making nothing but obsidian tools. The crap's all over the ground. And then there are other worlds that I hop in where I've never seen a piece, even a fraction of obsidian. Like, how feasible is that as a material to use? Because I think it'd be cool to, you know, pepper some obsidian in here. You know what I mean? Very hard to get. But you can make it with lava and water. Or possibly transmutation. If I could find a generic block, a certain type of block that would make sense to transform, like maybe slate or something, to where you could cast transmutation on it and have it become obsidian at the expense of mana. Yeah, see, I can still do that. So I guess technically someone could do that, right? And then I could pull out a chisel. I would need a hammer too, right? Hammer. I forgot how you do it. There we go. Oh, that was too big. So you could do your own thing with something like this. I think that'd be kind of cool. Let people be a little more creative, right? I don't have to dictate to them how exactly you need to have your thing, right? I like that idea. You could also transmute whatever into lava. Yeah. You just want to watch the world burn, Hexadin. Burn it all! Where's Bernardo? He constantly wants me to start this mod over. Yeah, where has he been? Like, all these changes, I might as well be starting over. Yeah. There. It can also be a hat. Boop. Yeah. So, I mean, you could do something. Yeah. Yeah, so that's interesting. It's interesting. It's a hat for our little obelisk. There we go. A boom. I don't want to set the world on fire, but I do like a little carnage once in a while. You want to see carnage? I should let my fire spells actually catch things on fire. Oh my god. Someone would do like, I'll cast Fireball or Fire Orb. No! Hits the side of someone's wooden house and sets it ablaze. That'd be fun. Not for the people, of course. Alright, so I'm liking this obelisk. I'm going to fix the Z fighting now because it's tweaking me a bit. It's tweaking me just a little bit. I could do better. Alright, so this is going to be red, right? So this would be 2.98. Move it 0.1. Now that should get rid of that Z fighting. Same thing here. 0.01. 2.98. 2.98. 0.01. Wait a minute. Okay, okay, yeah. Oh, wait, my math looks right, but I'm not seeing what I thought I'd see. 2.98. All right, just get rid of that Z fighting. No one likes to fight. All right, that looks pretty good. File, save. Oh, I'm going to have to redo any nulls. There we go. All right, let's shut down, bring it back up. I'm not going to be able to live stream for as long as I normally do. I probably have another 10 minutes or so before I have to get off. But hey, progress, right? Would be even better if your fire completely ignored the fire spread world settings. Yeah, right? It does what it wants. You know what? It's called Hellfire. And no, you can't disable it. Wild magic. All right, the Z fighting's gone. So I think this looks good. Again, I could add some, like, I think it'd look cool if, like, this part here was obsidian. You know, like, kind of coming down, or maybe, like, the entryway here's obsidian with, like, an obsidian inside. I think that would look pretty good. Rain just makes it, yeah. Well, you better watch out. Once it hits that ocean, it's gonna rapidly spread that fire. It's like a grease fire, only it doesn't stop. My God, I can only imagine the complaints I would hear from people. Oh my God! This is the worst mod ever! You should feel bad, sir! Alright, so, yeah. So we got a basic obelisk. I put a GUI on there. I have no idea what I'm actually going to do with it, but I wanted to get it physically in the game to start thinking about it. We should go back to here. I still have to... This is all static information I just kind of typed in to try and do like a rough outline, but I'm thinking this is going to be... This button here is going to be how you assign an unregistered version of this, an inert version of this. The X, of course, is going to be how you can deregister. I'll have it to where if you have like 2 of these, and then you want to come over here and you want to register, it will deregister you automatically, and it will shift all of your books over to your new place. So if you do have like a couple homes, you could like, attune yourself to the inert version there, and then bring that base online and do whatever you need to do with your spells. The transmutation altered. This whole thing, this part here, the stored mana, I think is just going to go away. I think it's just going to go away. Or, you know what? Maybe not. Now, I have a decision to make with the obelisk. Does the obelisk have... It should have a maximum amount of, virtual mana that it has, right? That it can store, which will help out, because a big problem with my old mod is you could have so many Oculuses just kind of chained together, and there was no penalty to that. Now it's like you'll have to have your obelisk, and I can make it to where they could see each other, and if it sees another obelisk within like so many blocks, like the efficiency could be cut in half. So you don't just sit there and have like, 20 of these things side by side stacked on top of each other, and then still have like 20 of everything else. I can kind of do checks so you don't. So you would get a benefit, maybe not 70 or maybe not 50% for the 2, but maybe it would go down to 70% or 75% efficiency. Hey, Lord Jar Jar. Mobile library! Rain makes us stronger. Yeah. True that. I think this is a good start. You know what? Let's put some obsidian in. I just want to see what it's going to look like with the highlighted obsidian. So we're gonna look for a couple different kinds of blocks here. So I'm gonna look for base dash side 1 So all of this is going to be material 2, right? Because did I make? I think I made material 2. No, it's got to be material 3. So I'm gonna make a material 3. Right. So. Okay, so it's going to be all of these base sides. Whoops, did not mean to do that now! Okay, here we go. Now what I meant to do is come up here. I meant to go back to material 1. And then change these. Okay, so that would be that. Everything that is base anchor. Kind of go back to the top here, so. Oh, and this is going to have, I didn't delete the old one, did I? It's still kind of wedged in there. All right, that's fine, that's fine. So base anchor. So we got base anchor 62, base anchor 31. Okay, so here's base anchor 31. Material 1. So we got that. Let's... Okay. Good. Enters something different. All right, so that's all of those base anchors. So now we go further down here. Boop. Ba-da-bum, ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-dum. Two, three, four, five. All right, so let's save that. And then the final piece, it's going to be top 45. Two, three, four, five, 6. Top 44, really? There's top 44. So basically top 35, all of these. All of these. What's top 40? And all of these. There we go. Okay, let's see what this looks like. Because I'm curious. This could look really good, and I'll be like, yep, that's just gonna be what it is for now. Let's see if anyone came up with any other issues. Nope. Whew. No, I didn't do it. Oh, I forgot to put the mapping in for Obsidian. That's right, because it's map, but it's that. Okay, so I think the transmutation altar, I already have Obsidian mapped out. Yep. So we'll do this. Boop. And Obelisk. Nope. Got too many things open. There we go. Now it should look like... let's see. I'm curious. I am very curious. If I can get this block, like... Of course, nothing's ever finalized, but for play purposes, finalized to where it looks engaging and unique and magic-y. I think we've done our task here. Okay, okay. Not bad, because we got the obsidian floor. Oh, that was a nice touch. I did that by accident. This is kind of what we're looking at here. You got your obsidian floor, that obsidian middle part, right up to there. And then this part, maybe I could make this a different thing. Like it could be obsidian to there. Oops. Maybe obsidian up top. Honestly, it doesn't look that bad. I kind of dig it a little bit. Just a little bit. It's kind of cool. Kind of growing on me a little bit. Oh, you know what I could do instead of obsidian being in the middle? I could have these little bits be obsidian, and then that could be that way. It looks like it's obsidian going down, and then it splits into the two parts in the base. Oh, 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 oh. Ah? Woo-wee. Oh man, you know what? I think that's what we're gonna have to do. Or I could have these be something else. You know, I'll just leave it for now. I'll leave it for now, right? There's still so much more to work on. But that's looking pretty good. Okay. We're gonna have to do things with the Sanctum. I'm gonna throw in some quick code. I still got a little time. Just had to look outside. We're gonna shut down. So I'm gonna have to kind of figure out, like, put some variables in the Sanctum, variables that I'm going to need. For now, I'm going to comment that out because that's just a print statement. I'm going to pop this whole thing out. And all right, first thing I'm going to need, it's going to be a public long, and I will call this Soulbound player, or maybe it's not Soulbound, I call it Soulbind. So you Soulbind it, or I could just say Soulbound player. Yeah, Soulbound. Soulbound player ID. Oh, one moment. All right, so looks like I got 10 minutes here. I have to get dinner ordered, so I'm going to do that. We're getting some Texas Roadhouse. It's an inside joke. So the Texas Roadhouse around here, some of the lights don't light up, so it literally just says Texas Road, and then just HO is lit up, and the rest of the sign doesn't work. So it's the Texas Roadhouse. All right, let's go to order. It's gonna take me like 2 minutes here. That's the one. Earliest time. See, we went to the New York State Fair, and we got one of the bloomin' onions. It was garbage. So we're getting one of the cactus blossoms. Who is this for? Me. Don't ask questions. All right, so let's see. I want barbecue sauce, another barbecue sauce. We're getting that house salad. Give me some honey mustard, and I guess a third honey mustard. Oh, what do I want? I want green beans. I want green beans for one of my side. The other, mashed potatoes. Gotta be. Brown gravy. Would you like lemonade? No. Would you like a warm glass of stop trying to upsell me? I just want to check out. No, I don't want you to add more things to my cart without my permission. All right, there's the tip and everything. Oh, I got some information. Save. Place order. Wait a minute, is that valid? Yeah, that's valid. Hey-oh! Got it. Done. How long have they not worked? It's been, honestly, it's been since, not since I moved up into the area. It's been like 5+ years. It was definitely before COVID. So yeah, it's just the Texas road ho. Giddy up, partner. All right, so we're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to take a snapshot of the player ID, right? Their unique ID. I'm also gonna have to do a public bool. Is soulbound. We'll do a set get. Technically, I shouldn't initialize this here. I'll initialize it later. I think those are the only two things for the Sanctum that I need to keep track of. I need to be able to get the player UID so I can do packet updates directly to the player depending on when you put a spellbook in. I want to dissolve that spellbook item and then have it be virtually on your person. So it will still appear there, but it's just going to be the appearance of it. Or, you know, I don't even have to do that. I could keep it as the item since I can lock it if you're not soulbound to it. I think those are the only two things that I need to really watch out for. I think everything else... Let's get rid of all this extra stuff. I think everything else is going to be... There we go. I think it's going to be, yeah, because really, I got to think how this works, right? Let's go into the game. This is going to be one of the least complex tile entities, right? Or not tile entities, block entities. I'm using Minecraft logic here. That's like dating someone new and using your old girlfriend's name. Whoops. I'm sorry, Vintage Story. I didn't mean it. That game means nothing to me. I swear to God, I bleached everything down in here, right? I clean out my keyboard and everything. My mouse is nice and clean. And that little fruit fly, I don't know where it went. Where are you living? What are you living off of? My God, and how did that spider not... It's just stuck in the corner. It's going to die up there. It thinks the fruit fly is going to go like 10 feet high into this little corner. Come down here. Set up a web over here. Like, come on, man. Or woman. I don't know the gender of that spider. They need to get their act together. That's all I'm saying. All right, so wait. Well, okay, I'm looking at the Sanctum, right? We got to look at the Sanctum block. Boop. So I can already account for variables here, right? Because I'm just going to be getting what the item stacks are, you know, what all the statistics are from these books and applying them to your spell slots. For this, you're going to be able to soulbind this to yourself. That way you can place your books in there. Poor web developer. The world's smallest violin. Oh, you have a little fruit fly just flying around. It's just trying to live. What's wrong with you? I guess technically, no, I don't think there's any other variables that I need. I'm going to close that out. I think it's really just those two things. Huh. It is just those two things. This is going to be a pretty simplistic block. It's really going to rely on the complexity is going to be when you socket your spells in there. But even that, I'm just like right there on place. I would send a packet to the player that owns this block, right? Because only the players will be able to even place a block in there, and then that will update their, you know, the spell, right? So I'll see that come up here. Now I have to redo this GUI as well because I'm going to have just transmutation. These other features are just going to be fun, like block things that you could do in the world. So really, I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? Because I think I could fit 2 more here and here. 8. So I think I could fit like a solid 8 throughout this, you know, with like spacing and everything. In which case I can shorten this up. I can get rid of that gap, because that was going to be like a spell. You were going to get a spell when you put a focus in your offhand. But, you know, I since got rid of that, and I have it to where the focus just adds the elemental attribute. Right? So, like, now all my specific spells are going to be fire-based. Shoot the moon. I reckon I could put a hole in that there moon. Boom! Good luck. Oh, I gotta change the particles as well. I want to update the particle color to be themed based off of your current element. Right now, it's just kind of like I have it there. And I think it looks kind of cool, right? It kind of rains down a little bit. But I do have to update that. It's just I got to make sure things work first. And I got to come up with... You know, I think what I'm going to do is Arcanus is not going to be a base block. It's not going to have a base block. I don't think so. Unless I should... Maybe I should turn the mana-infused stone. I could get rid of that, and then this could just be the default Arcanus. Like, I can get, like, the regular stone. I can put that hue tint on. And then I can come out with, like, my own brick versions of all this stuff, too. Like, I want you to be able to build your tower out of the magic stone. Right? So maybe I think that's what I'll do for my change coming up. I would do it now, but I don't have the, you know, the time. Because we have to raid someone. Severed Skulls, if you're still there. You know, I'm still on for 7:30 Eastern time. It's going to be between 7:30 and 8 o'clock. Just because I put Baby Triangle down to sleep at that time, and sometimes he just goes right to sleep. Other times, you know, got to go in and soothe him, make sure little man's okay. But I'm really liking the direction of this magic mod. Oh, and I gotta disable some things because I do have that update to push out. That's gonna fix a couple of the crashes people find or people have found. I mean, it seems like there are not huge crashes anymore, which is awesome. All right, vintage story. I keep looking outside. I'm like, is the car here yet? All right, who do we got? Who do we have playing? The Hunt for Copter, playing some vintage story on the whatever the PSG one is. I'm looking for the keyword of modded. Modded. Here we go. Modded survival. I don't know. Anyone have a Radford? I think I've rated that person before. I don't know. Anyone got a preference? I'll leave it. I'll leave it 15 seconds here. See if anyone throws in a name. Best part is all these people speak English. Yay! I do feel bad, like when I didn't check before, and I just rated people, and I know they were like talking to me, and I'm like, I don't understand your language. I am so sorry. I can talk with emojis. All right, so I'm just gonna pick the middle of the ground here. I don't think I've... Oh, I am following this person. Buddy one. All right, so we're gonna do exclamation raid. Gonna do /raid Putty one. All right, everyone. So again, Severed Skulls, I will reach out to you and we'll take a look at your code there. I'll do like a screen share, right? And we'll iron stuff out for you. If I can finish with Severed Skulls, you know, yeah, not a problem. If we finish early, I may flip it into like you know, hop into live streaming and then making the changes with like the mana infused stone, kind of migrating it to the Arcanus block. We may go over transmutation spells and come up with a way to be able to transmutate something to get obsidian. Because if I can use obsidian in a lot of my stuff, like if you look, I love obsidian. I love how it looks. I would love to put more obsidian like in here. You know what I mean? So if anyone has a suggestion on what block I could transmute to get obsidian, let me know. I'd appreciate it. But thank you very much for watching me, and I hope you all have a wonderful evening. I'm gonna go get me some chicken, some good old chicken nuggies. All right. Again, thank you. Have a wonderful evening. Bye.